Alright, welcome! We are live with the final game of the Clan Wars. We have the Silver Cup final, and we have two players that have slugged along trying to get that last extra number of points for their teams. First up, we have AzgalorIsMyDad, also known as KC Cheesecake, playing for the Too Mad to Dog, also known as my team, also known as the best team, playing Unicorn. And his opponent is Banjin, also known as Sergio Sanz, playing for the Arrow Nosed Away and also Unicorn. So we have a Unicorn mirror today, but quite a special one. Let's have a look at the deck lists. The players are waiting, so let's not keep them waiting for too long. Hello, Marty. First up is new Unicorn deck. Ah, yes, very new. Keeper Fire, Border Fortress, Opposing Authority, Cons Order, Weight of Duty, and Golden Plains on the Stronghold. Really nice to see Sergio Sanz still playing Cons Order in row. Really classic play for him. And this is a Swarm deck at its finest. We see zero cost characters, Badman Recruit. We see Endless Plains Skirmisher, Bore, Soul Weaver. The only forecaster, the only character above 2 is Comeback Benefactor. All the other ones are 2, 1, or 0. We also see Season Patroller, which is gonna matter in this game actually, because of Resurgence. So really cool. Yeah, really swarmy. We also see one of my favorite cards, Shinjo Trailblazer. I love that quote. Really cool. No tens in here because who needs movement when you have a million characters? This deck is super aggressive. Captive Audience, Cavalry Reserves, Challenge on the Fields, Peerless Discipline, which is pretty cool. You can give all your characters Bushi, including Benefactor and Soul Weaver, and then use Take Up Command on them. Spoils of War, West of Wind, those serve, of course, in this Super Swarm deck. Udic Tactics 3-off. Interesting to see Udic Tactics and Curbblade and no Worldly Shiotoma. I think that's kind of interesting. Opting to go for Trailblazer instead. And of course, Shinman Wayfinders, another card that Sergio really likes. And finally, a big makeshift war camp. The deck that is the opposing one is also quite an interesting one. It is GPO, lol. Keeper Fire, Cycle of Vengeance, Public Authority, Feast of Heaven, Pilgrimage, and Golden Plains on the Stronghold. So row is quite breaky. And this is, yeah, GPO movement. So we see lots of movement cards. We see Outskirts Sentry, we see Nergui, Noyan, of course, key card in this deck. Not so much in this matchup. Swift Magistrate not going to be great either. Twilight Rider, of course. super key card here. Takotetsuko as the restricted card. Could be good in that matchup, depending on what Banjin does. We'll have to see. Moto Beastmaster, of course, really powerful. Cure and Altans are nice. So really a lot more bigger characters in this deck. And Casey doesn't really have to worry about Endless Plains, so he could definitely buy some of those. And this is Dragon Splash with Belief in the Little Teacher, which is kind of funny. It combos nicely with Bonds of Blood, but other than that, it's kind of a dead card in the matchup. Unless Banjin goes for a firing on Altan Sanai. Also see some new cards, Scarlet Saber, which Banjin doesn't play, which is interesting. We see 3 of Daikyu. Could be good in this matchup, we'll have to see. 1 Finger Jade, Phoenix Tattoo. Phoenix Tattoo could be really devastating if Casey finds a nice win on a defense somewhere. Assassination could be good. Defend Geronos, of course, really good against Swarm. Let go. Yeah, letting go those makeshift war camps could be important. Right on. Spoils of War, Open Hand, Fallen in Battle. Maybe not the greatest in this matchup. 1 Cavalry Reserves. Alright, let's not keep the players waiting. So Banjin, of course, is one of the strongest unicorn players historically in the LCG. Has been getting some super good results throughout the lifetime of the game, actually. I think he has the most Lotus Pavilion points on Lotus Pavilion. And he has been playing a very aggressive style since HMT was released. And before that he played, well, whatever we played with just GPO. I remember the first tournament, a Grand Cote in Birmingham. I played against him in like round 3 and I lost. It was a mirror match. I played Phoenix, Splash Support of the Phoenix, and he played the deck that I was supposed to run, which was Unicortiers with Disdain for Remark and Miwaku Kabe as well. Really interesting deck. And we had a good time over there. Really nice guy. Alright, so we are gonna see Banjin on first player, as Banjin likes, which is also very good because of cards like Daikyu and Scarlet Saber in Casey's deck. Casey mulligan in 4. Probably looking for, I'm not sure here. Board Rider is good, Cure is good, Nurgu is very good in this matchup. Could really make Banjin struggle to get those HMT triggers, or at least make it harder. And Banjin really lies on that tempo. He only runs 2 captive audiences. So if he doesn't get that first military win, he might be in trouble. But of course he has the Consort do in Province Row as well. So we'll have to see 2 Fate on Board Riders. We're gonna see Kiora disguised over there. Also Conqueror for Banjin with 1 Fate, and yeah, really classic aggressive play here by Banjin. This is the way he plays, which I really like. Board Rider, Gunso from the Board Rider from the Gunso, I mean, and the Battlemania Recruit. Nice sack target, and potentially sometimes a quite strong zero coster. Has been, of course, power crept, but it is still a Battle Maiden and a Cavalry. One is strong for flavor, and one is strong for the whole of the deck. We're gonna see Military Void here with everything. Yeah, really aggressive. Slamming straight into Appalling Authority. Do we see a Shinju Ambusher? Players are playing blisteringly fast here. My voice will definitely hurt at the end of this. And we do see the Ambusher. Of course, Banjin can go for this aggressive play here because he has the Shutome Encampment and the Board Rider. So he's gonna have tempo for next attack as well. And we do see a Shinmen Wayfinders as well to use up that last fate. And Spoils of War, so really nice start here for Banjin. Getting rid of that Kiora, getting rid of the Polling Authority, although out of fate, but really gassing on here. Getting the Void Ring, protecting his Conqueror and his Wayfinders. I wonder what he discards here. Hard choices are hard, so just a bunch of gas in hand, okay. That is great for Banjin. We also see a pretty good start for cavalry reserves here, Trailblazer Youth, and then Conqueror, etc. Discarding a Tessan. Okay, yeah. Doesn't have the fate for it, so sure. And he also has the encampment, so he has the readies he needs. Curve Blade comes down on Border Rider to try to swing back and get rid of that encampment. See what's under it. Border Fortress. Alright, will we see some scouting or will we see cons of Drew popped here? Could see cons. Go attack with Wayfinders and Conqueror. But we are gonna see Banjin scouting some. Finding Cyclo Vengeance. It looks like it's gonna be a racing game here. Ooh, Unleash the Jinn is a very good find. How many Jinns does he play? He plays 2, right? Yeah. I expected none less. Always good to play 2 Jinn in case Swarm gets discarded, especially in Swarm. Because it's such a key card for a Swarm deck. In Fire Roll. In Earth Roll it is Unfulfilled Duty that is the key card instead. See, Feast or Famine, that's a decent Feast or Famine. Steals the fate of this Moto Conqueror. Puts it on the Board Rider. So Banjin will have taking it off the Wayfinders instead. That is interesting. I guess, okay, it is to lower the power of the cavalry reserves, but yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. The cavalry reserves is still gonna be strong. We have Trailblazer Youth, Border Rider is still gonna be full strength basically. Well, Casey of course only has political left and finds a polling authority. Does he have the captive audience? That could be key here, or a political pump. He does have Phoenix Tattoo, he has Lurking Affliction, Invocation of Ash is going to be the key card here. To break this, do we see an Ambusher as well? Interesting to go for air and not fire. And we do see the Ambusher with 1 fate, yeah. I like that, try to pressure Banjin next turn. Turn off HNT, but very interesting to go for air instead of fire to increase the strength of Border Rider or dishonor the Gunso for this attack. Well, I guess it puts some pressure on Banjin. Honor is always an issue for Unicorn, and 1 Yerk already gone. Let's see what the last promise here is. It's Pilgrimage, right? Yeah, Pilgrimage. So Banjin is gonna have to go for Cycle of Vengeance, which is not bad. Let's see if he has found the captive audience and a pump. He should have. No? Okay. Maybe a dishonor? No, going for the Board Rider honor here. Okay, so Banjin is actually quite careful with his honor here, which is interesting. That means that he probably has the Jinn in hand already. Interesting. Alright, we see Benefactor probably coming down here. Oh, and we see Twilight Auto Stables. What? Am I looking at the wrong decks here? Let me just check. Because this has no motor stables. Yeah. Oops. Let's see how the players want to resolve this. I could have just shut up, but We'll have to see. The tournament is already kind of decided. So yeah, the points here don't really matter. So Banjin is gonna let the game keep on going. Usagi, you saw nothing, right? And we saw Western Wind here. From Banjin, finding 3 characters. Maiden, Youth and Conqueror. Depending on what's in Banjin's hand, we might see the Benefactor or a Dose to Serve here. Dose to Serve puts him at 5, but can then buy Maiden, Conqueror. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can buy all 3 of these. Oh, holy shit, okay, that, yeah. That doesn't really help. This is Casey's deck list. Alright. And there's the Dose to Serve, yeah. So we are gonna see some nice swarm here. Banjin really pushing for the win this turn. See Maiden, see Conqueror, we see Boardrider, Youth instead, okay. And Benefactor. Or does he want to keep Fate? He wants to keep the Fate. He needs some Fate for something here. That is interesting. Me Mystic as well. Try to get rid of a Invocation of Ash, or Curblade maybe. 5 to 5 bid. Me Mystic kinda good with those who serve actually. I like that. Yuchi's Soul Weaver is gonna be an annoyance here. Banjin is gonna get the HMT trigger if he wins the conflict here. Let's see what ring Casey goes for here. I like water, I like earth. Water could potentially be a -4. Earth could be a Jin. We'll have to see here. The provinces left are, let's see, Consordu and Void. Weight of Duty. Weight of Duty could be really good here. Sacrificing a Battle Maiden. Going political, that's probably good. And it is gonna be Weight of Duty, okay. And Void. That's an interesting pick. Going Void to protect his board. That is risky, but if he survives this turn, it can definitely pay off. Banjin is gonna have to break at least 2 promises this turn. I mean, at least 3 to win. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So yeah, I guess this is kinda good. Because Shinya Ambusher doesn't protect against Golden Plains. There's a Captive Audience from Banjin. 1 of 2. Fankatana goes down on the War Rider. And here comes Peerless Discipline for the last fate. Do we see a Defend Your Honor? No Defend Your Honor. So these are all now Bushi. And with +1 military. I didn't think I'd see this card get used, but it is kind of cool. Because it lasts the entire phase. That is quite a lot. And of course it's kind of funny to use it with For Greater Glory to put fate on your benefactors and stuff. Neat little card. Right, 10 to 11. Can Casey go for a break? Here we see Open Hand on Youth. Okay, so that's why he went void. Or at least now we get some value out of the void. We see Weight of Duty go down on the Twilight Rider. Sure. That is an interesting choice, considering the board riders can are more strength, and this one has 2 fate. But I guess it puts some more pressure on Casey to use up his readies on potentially worse characters. Alright, we see a break. Casey discards an undisciplined skirmisher, but there are no cavalry reserves to be found yet, since Banjin is on 0 fate. Does he even play cavalry reserves? Yeah, it does. Sometimes you don't have a fate because you're just spamming characters from Dynasty. Alright, here comes another all-out attack, and with these Moto Conquerors, so strong they are. 4 military on a 2 strength, on 2 cost body. Quite insane. So yeah, just a casual 16 here with a total of 5 fate and favor. Yeah, that's a thing. Encampment to ready the board rider, not wanting to contest this at all. There's a Shinma Wayfinders, of course, with the Uchi Soul Weaver. He does have 4 characters in the conflict, so it's free. So it looks like Banjin is gonna run for it here. You're gonna see HNT trigger on the youth. See spoils, discarding a challenge on the field. Yeah, not the greatest card against GPO. Cycle Vengeance puts a fate and an honor on the Shinju Ambusher. Alright. Discards Barcha. That's a okay fine for Casey since it doesn't have any uniques right now. So both players on 3 breaks. Board Rider readies. Both players have to break 2 provinces, and I think this is quite good for Casey. I think Banjin is gonna have trouble breaking 2 here. Well, there's Concert Do. Really nice combo here with Golden Plains into Concert Do, so you are gonna guarantee it to see it every game, unless there's a Pathfinder's Blade or something of like, because you have the Border Fortress, you have it in the row, and you have Golden Plains on Stronghold. Really nice province combo by Banjin. And yeah, Banjin is just gonna let this go. Interesting from Casey to not utilize this Moto Stables. Well, I guess that's kind of honorable since it's technically not in the deck. But maybe it will be used now. Here comes Wood Rider on military. And of course, Casey is out of conflict, so he can't actually win this turn. So yeah, we are going to see the all-out defense here. This is kind of interesting because this means that Banjin still has 1 opportunity left after this. And Casey did use the Golden Plains, so quite risky here by Casey. I have to see if Banjin can do something with. He is breaking right now with this. Let's see what Casey has. He has 2 Shinji Ambushers left. He could have potentially Assassination. What is Banjin doing? He has to break. Well, it could be right on moving Twilight Rider. Ready and then moving another one, but okay, so there's the Assassination, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, interesting to go for Pilgrimage instead of Golden Plains, since it has been used already. Also funny to note that Banjin's non-cavalry characters are not cavalry, because Golden Plains flavor text only works on Golden Plains. But Casey's outskirt sentries are cavalry here, which means that Banjin can't sacrifice his new mystics to HMT if he would want to. Casey down to 4 honor at the end of this turn. He's really ahead on board. I think Banjin is in a really tough spot here. He's gonna have to pull some real magic out of his horses behind. Speaking of which, here's the cavalry outskirt sentry. But Nergui also a really nice card here. Yeah, this is looking rough for Banjin. He had some really nice tempo in the beginning, but pushed a bit too hard here, I think. The Golden Plains is really a crazy card against aggro. Talisman, but it works every time. Really tough for a swarm deck to, or an aggro deck to get through. Just another note, after this game we will have a quick look at the new cards that have been spoiled and have a quick discussion about them. They are pretty cool. And I think there has been an announcement made as well, so we will have to take a look at that as well. See Banjin playing attack infantry, not the strongest infantry here. Interesting to go for infantry instead of youth, but we're probably going to see infantry, and battle maiden. And a really nice board here by Casey. Has a bunch of characters. See the Annoying, we see Nergui. Yeah, we are going to see infantry, maiden. Are we going to see the youth as well? No. Banjin is saving one fate for something here. Casey bids 2 and Banjin bids 1. Banjin is on the dishonor strategy here. Quite key here actually that the GPO flavor text doesn't work for Banjin, since the infantries aren't cavalry. It's kind of funny. So he can't use shoot on encampment on them. And this is another thing I don't understand. People not attacking into Golden Plains, forcing the trigger, or over forcing a defense, just attacking pilgrimage here. Say if this province doesn't break now, Casey can just use Golden Plains next attack and just move it. So when you're up against Golden Plains or up against Talisman, always attack the stronger province unless it's a worse province for you to attack. So yeah, take note. Always attack Golden Plains. And when I say always, I mean almost always. Bonds of Blood, sending home the Board Rider and the Convoy Benefactor. Challenge on the fields. Sending home the Otaku Infantry. Yep. So just a bait attack by Banjin, but still. This could have been a Golden Plains trigger. Now Banjin has no way of winning this turn, basically. But Casey is in a very commanding position here, so we have to see if Banjin survives this turn. He does have 2 attack infantries, and of course he has the 2 fate for cavalry reserves here. Benefactor, because he passed and they gained the fate of the airing. So we'll have to see if Casey has found any defense honors. Although of course the infantries mean that Banjin is going to be tied on highest strength here. Here comes the attack, 22 military. This is something Banjin definitely can contest with the cavalry reserves. He does have Motor Conquerors, he does have Battlemen Recruits, really nice cards with attack infantry. Especially if you have gotten a really nice card in general with the cavalry reserves. So we can see Conqueror, Youth, Maiden. Classic. Just a casual 12. See, Board Rider instead, yeah. Going for the defensive cavalry reserves. Probably better, even more classic. Board Rider, Battle Maiden, Youth. Oh, with double infantries. And we are going to see the defend genre. But it is 4-4. And I think we're going to have to see Banjin, yeah, going for the big bid here. Second defend genre. Again, probably going to have to see a big bid here. Banjin bids 1. Whoa. Okay, that is most likely it. Yeah, that is it. So we have a winner in the Silver Cup. Congratulations to Casey. Congratulations to the Too Mad to Dog team, which means congratulations to me. But mostly congratulations to Casey for a great show here by Gold Plains Outpost. Although it was the wrong deck, did see the power of it. And Banjin, of course, really close in the end, but yeah, Take Up Command is a really strong card in this deck, so that could have been important. Also running out of Fate, really common in the Swarm decks and aggro decks in general, to run out of steam. And that's what happened. Casey survived the onslaught. Alright, I will... Unicorn wins, yeah, congratulations to both, and congratulations to everyone who has played in this this tournament. It has been a great, super fun tournament again. Thank you to Usagi for hosting and administrating it all. Now, let's have a look at some cards. With the new deck builder, Emerald DB is the new deck builder for L5R. It is made by WorkyB, also known as Martin. I think he's in the chat. Hello Martin, thank you for this beautiful deck builder. It is really a work of art, I have to say. Let's start with only there's my deck. Hey, I was the first one to make a deck. But let's have a look at the cards from the let's look at them like this. Ayubuna Pilot. Yeah, this is great. So there are 2 cards spoiled / released from the Emerald Legacy, the continuation project for L5R. This is the first one. This is Ayubuna Pilot. It is an attachment. It has 0 cost. It is +1 military, +1 political. Restricted. Attached to a character you control. You can't give votes to your opponent. Action: during a conflict, if a touched character is ready, sacrifice this attachment. Move attached character to the conflict. Influence cost 0. This card is quite interesting. I really quite like it. And not only because it's a movement card. It seems quite strong, just looking at it. But there are a couple of key differences in Emerald Legacy from what we're used to, which we will come to. But it is restricted, so it's gonna take up one of those precious attachment slots. Well, I guess I should just... if you haven't looked at the advancement, there has been a change to how attachments work in L5R. You can only have one copy of an attachment per character, which means that you can't have 2 Ayabuni pilots on the same character. You can't have 2 fine katanas on the same character. So name of the cycle or set is Through the Mists. Thank you, Through the Mists. Very cool name, very ominous. So yeah, this card seems super strong. It's a +1/+1 for free, but it has that restricted, and attachments are weaker nowadays because of that new restriction. The action is quite powerful, but there are some key restrictions here, because the character has to be readied and it has to be sacrificed. You're losing that attachment, you're losing the power for the move-in, and it can only be used on rated characters, and movement traditionally has been used mostly to move in big guys with bowed characters essentially, and then reading them in the conflict with stuff like Mitsu's ring ability or Fan of Command. But this doesn't work like that. This is more a protection against covert, against send homes, which is very good because send homes is quite strong, definitely. So that's the first card. I really like it. Of course, there is no art yet. It is on the way. I think it's Trevor Cuba. Yeah, Trevor is working hard on finishing these illustrations. So that's the first card. Really cool. The second one is something that has been discussed and hoped for a long time, and it is Disarm. It's a 1-cost neutral event. It's a conflict event, I should say. It has action, choose an attachment, discard it. And the image is wrong, the text here is correct. It says leave it behind. So it is neutral attachment control, and it is quite balanced. It's the card that a lot of people have been wanting for a long time, looking at all these attachment heavy metas. And now we have it. We have the solution, Disarm, finally. So this will be very welcoming for clans that don't have that great attachment control. Unicorn could play this very well with combo like Benefactor. Of course, it's basically Let Go then. Or just double down on attachment control if you really want to. You can now run 12 attachment control. You can run 15 attachment control cards in Unicorn with Let Go, Disciple of Shinsei, Mio Mystic, and this, and Remake. Let Go is undercosted. Yeah. Yeah, the influence should be like 1, right? That's what you mean. So yeah, another really like feel-good card, of course. Let's have a look at the. Should I show the band list, or is that secret information? I'll look at the Emerald Legacy RRG while I wait. All out in the one line. Okay, so let's have a look at the restricted list, because this is interesting. It's something that I want to talk about and discuss. Because the game that we saw was the last game of Jade Edict. The Jade Edict is finished and it has fizzled. We are now in Emerald Legacy territory, or Emerald Edict. And this is what we're playing with now. So it is mostly the same with a couple of updates from Jade Edict. We of course see a lot of bans. Some new bans are Lurking Affliction, Oni Tyrant. I agree with the Oni Tyrant. It is kind of a weird card, especially when you go into paper, having to bring all your Shadowlands cards with you. Lurking Affliction, of course, very, very strong card, so not too bad, too sad to see that go. Also the Palace band, we have the Warrior band, as they should be. What else? Centered Breast band, of course, Logistics band, nothing special here. Nothing extra here. We see Governor Spy band, Fort Edict band, yeah, Spyglass band. Right, restricted list. This is a bit more interesting because the band list was very, very nice. I really like the band list. Not much to say. Contested Countryside is restricted, and it also has Rally. Rally is back, kind of. Rally now doesn't count towards the deck maximum, which means that if you put a Rally card in your deck, you have to have at least 41 Rally cards. And it also means that you can have at maximum 5 Rally cards in your deck, which is kind of cool. Definitely a buff to Twilight Rider, and I get to play Rider at Dawn again, so I'm quite happy with it. Interesting to see Imperial Storehouse on the restricted list. Yeah, it should say minimum. Yeah, that's entirely correct, Martin. Storehouse of Force was a auto include in a lot of decks that could afford to run it. Unicorn not so much, usually. Interesting to see it on the restricted list. Come Unleashed as well on the restricted list. Very popular card. We saw it both in the Gold Cup winners list and very popular in Honor Line as well, which I've heard is quite strong in Emerald Legacy. Keeper and Scavenger still restricted. Crab unchanged. Envoy, Laboratory, and Way of the Crab. Or was Laboratory banned in Jade? I don't remember. Crane, no restricted card, as before. Dorn Temple is restricted, not banned. So we're gonna have to see that in play, but it won't do that much trouble, I think. We'll see some play in Mitsu decks. But we'll have to see. Key Alignment still restricted. Sacred Sanctuary restricted, so yeah, I think we're gonna not see this card that much. Lion got a bit of a nerf. We see as Tactician getting on the restricted list as well. So really taking a hit here, Lion. Well, they got one card. Phoenix is unchanged. No, Sanguine Mastery is restricted. I'm not sure if it was restricted in Jade, but it is. Scorpion is unchanged. Or was Dispatched Nowhere banned in Jade? I don't remember. Shadowed Village is restricted. And Unicorn is changed a bit. Instead of Yasumura, we see Swift Magistrate take place on the restricted list. At first I was like, what? Why? Why is this here? It is one of the easiest magistrates to play around when you know it's coming, and that's the key part. When you know it's coming. With Shinyo Altansanai, it is really quite unfair. It is basically Cunning Magistrate with Shinyo Altansanai too. So yeah, I can definitely see the restriction on Swift Magistrate. Basically a ban. You won't be seeing this card. Maybe in Swarm, but Benefactor is just that much better. But yeah, I could just see justify for ban here, but cards want to be played. And that's of course. And this is the new part. The interesting part. The splash ban list. So these cards have had their influence removed and cannot be splashed. And here we see some releases from the ban list. We see common costs coming back, and this is a very brave move, I think. We are looking definitely at a buff to the broker list, a buff to Kravitz. Kravitz is coming back, definitely with Common Laboratory and common costs. But the other crab list that was winning has been deleted, as we will see. So we're gonna have to see about that. Common costs back. That is okay. Fight on also smooth influence. I'm not too sure why. It hasn't been seeing that much play outside of Crab, I think. Can't really think of any deck that plays it. Maybe, oh yeah, the Crab Honor, the Honor Lion Crab list, yeah, played Fight on. Reprieve as well, which is pretty nice. Keep it away from Conblock Benefactor, among others. Festival of the Fortunes to remove the Fireworks deck. Double Sacrifice to get rid of it from Scorpion. Return of Fence. Yeah, to break up the Mitsu deck. Ooh, this is actually pretty nice. This is a really nice spot to remove. Forcing Dragon into making some interesting deck choices. For justifications for the changes, head to rules. Okay, so there are some notes there. I will definitely read those after the stream. Dragon, Indomitable Will. Huh. That is interesting. I'm not sure what deck this is running out of, outside of Dragon, but sure. Minamoto's Fury. Yeah, I like that. Keep it very Dragon. And yeah. Shoshinikiya also makes it back, so The 2-0 cost readies makes it back. This means that you can play some kind of interesting face down reveal stuff out of Dragon. It's mostly trying to limit clans to the in-clan readies. That's why I see most of the stands there. Okay, so that's the reasoning behind it. Sure, I can see that. Okay, yeah, so that's why fight on the stand, common cause, turn offense. Yeah, okay. Then why isn't my distract station influence bad? It's a in-clan ready. That's a good idea, right? These cards are still super strong, so it's going to be interesting to see how fast they will get restricted again. But we'll have to see. Same with Fan of Man. Glorious Victory is there for the Fireworks deck. Heroic Resolve breaking up that Phoenix combo with the Secluded Shrine, or the other one, I don't remember. In Service to My Lord, the same. Renowned Singer. Interesting. There was a Scorpion deck that drew like 20 to 30 cards first turn, so nice to see that deck on. Splashing became a choice of which stand do I want in my deck? Yeah, sure. I can definitely relate to that. Which is kind of sad. Against the Waves was a card I really reacted to when I saw this list first. Because it really neuters a lot of Shigenya, non-Phoenix Shigenya decks. Well, basically Unigenjas, which isn't really a deck, but yeah, still. But now I see the reasoning why. Sure. And here we see the biggest one. It's not just the biggest one because it's Unicorn and I'm Unicorn, but it is actually the literally biggest one. The tower decks generally wanted to play Unicorn for favorite mount and now for Daikyu. Now they can't. So we see Daikyu, favorite mount, forces the river to break up the, as I said, the fireworks combo. So Guardian Customs again. And Scattered Terrain makes it back. The alternate win condition. Pretty cool. Still the steps the same. Interesting that the Maho, the Shadow Steed, is still available. Gonna have to check the notes why that is, why the Shadow Steed is available. I guess it is not that great for towers, since it's Maho and it only works on Fateless characters. And Talisman makes it back, so enjoy trying to break less than 4 provinces against Unicorn now with Talisman and Golem Plains. Gonna be interesting. Yeah, Shadow Steed has a bigger cost for sure. Definitely because it doesn't run on towers. Well, you can run it on a tower, but you will lose next turn. So it has definitely a bigger cost. And yeah, there are a couple of readies that aren't in here. We see Mountain Does Not Fall, it's not on the splash ban list. We see Clear the Purpose, it's not on the splash ban list. So there are some cards that avoided the splash ban hammer. Overall, quite an interesting list. Unicorn looks very strong. So we're going to see some nice results from them. Crab as well, looking very strong, very strong. With Lab and with Broker, with common cost back. Oof. It's going to be scary. Crane. Crane is going to have to do some exploring. Can't play the Unicorn Splash anymore. Well, they can, but it's pretty awful. Gonna have to see what they will make out of this. We of course have a whole new expansion coming up with a bunch of cards that we don't know of yet. And hopefully I could get some spoilers to talk about on my stream. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Martin. Please. I want cards. But overall, yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. And I have to say that these changes, along with the rally changes, are going live on Jigoku now. Or at least very soon, if they haven't been updated yet. We'll have to see. Haven't been updated yet. Okay, but very, very, very soon. the changes are going live on Jigoku, so you can try out the new band list. Get back to rally, putting 45 cards into your decks and making mill decks very sad. But I will definitely look forward to putting Right On back in my decks. Such a beautiful card. Really excited for the future of L5R. Robert is not overly fond of them. They are alright. We'll have to see. I need to play with this before I get the feel for it. There are some clans that definitely won in this environment, but we'll have to see. Yeah, and this is also the first list. There are going to be iterations, of course. And because it's a fan product and not FFG, this could get changes within reasonable times. So yeah, I'm very hopeful. This is gonna be cool. So I will read those. Another nerfed Scorpion Mill decks. Yeah, those poor Mill Scorpions. I really like playing Mill, but this is gonna be quite a challenge. Playing Mill in this. Of course, it does have the Deserted Shrine now, so we'll have to see. I haven't played it with Deserted Shrine yet. So we'll have to see if it still works. So yeah, take a look at the list, play some games, form an opinion, and read the FAQ, read the what did you call it, the thing, the rules page. Okay, so it's maybe in here. Maybe it's in here. Let's have a quick look before I shut off the stream. So yeah, they basically remade the list. We have some reprint changes here. Interesting. Were these? Dragon might have a mill deck. I have been playing mill in Dragon, so yeah, definitely they have mill deck. Shoutouts to Lance Russo for building the shell of that deck. Really cool. Were these in Imperial? Or are these new ones? No, these are the old ones, yeah. Yeah, with the changes to Dojo and Ronin. Alright, I think that's it. Start building decks. I was the first one to build a deck in Emerald DB. I'm quite happy with it. It's basically just a copy of my Clan Wars deck, but updated to Emerald Legacy. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Jigoku, because I will be playing a lot of L5R from now on. Thank you again, and have a nice evening.